Well, every team in the first round that did pass him up, including the Ravens, who went with the big 6th overall pick. Here he is.
Going through this process, visiting all these coaches, they get that sense too, and they know how tough and passionate I am. And I respect the game of football. I really appreciate it and know the values that it really builds character for each and every person that plays it.
Well, Stanley did make draft history, though, becoming the first player to
That's horrible
dab.
technique. That's horrible technique by
Goodell.
Goodell.
On stage.
Somebody needs to teach him.
I think that's ironic considering how Ronnie Stanley ended up maybe being the second pick of their
Oh, Bucky.
I like it.
You are out of control.
Can we stop with the dabbing? I'm done with it.
I mean, we can move
I'm
on.
begging you.
But this young man may help Joe Flacco and some other perimeter players dab because he's a dominant player on the edge. Dancing bear, nice feet. Love the balance and body control. And in the run game, which is why some teams really had him rated over Larry Tunsil, he does a great job of finishing when he climbs to the next level. He is a guy that can come in. Maybe he doesn't play left tackle right away because he has to compete, but he's going to be a franchise player for a long time.
Bucky, I love these offensive picks.
Yeah.
I love them. Kenneth Dixon in the 4th round was huge to me. I think you get a guy that fits that system, throwing the ball to the back. It's amazing. You get Keenan Reynolds, another guy who you put in the slot. I mean, tackles, you're trying to protect your quarterback. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what these guys can do next year.
All right, well, the team, they also selected 6 defensive players. Bucky, how do you feel about the defense here?
I'm really falling in love with what they've added on defense. Coming like Correa, Bronson Kafusi, and Tavon Young is the guy that I want to watch. He is a nickel corner, great feet, great instincts. And don't forget, Matt Judon, Grand Valley State, small school standout, could end up being the best of all those defense players that we talked about.
Wow. All right, 11 total picks for this team. MJD, what did you grade Baltimore's class?
I gave them an A-. I thought they hit where they needed to go. I thought like Bucky said, some of those young guys, those small school guys are going to go and make plays. But at the end of the day, I mean, when you pass up on Tunsil, that stuck with me. That hurt me. That hurt me.
I think it hurt him, too.
Exactly.
It's going to hurt the team.
So I think there, when you even stand, I think Stanley's still good, but I thought when you make that, it's hard to give you an A when you pass up on the best player on the board.
All right, A-. I can agree with that, too. How about the Browns? They had a busy draft, too. Cleveland made 14 selections. That's the most in the draft, starting with a receiver that Bucky Brooks, you love, Corey Coleman.
Hey, I love it because he's a touchdown maker. Once again, I can't say it enough. Guys that have to play for me, they need to be able to put the ball in the paint. I want touchdown makers. 20 touchdowns his last season at Baylor. Big time speedster. A guy that really excels with the ball in his hands on catch and run plays. Got to expand the route tree. Need to work with him. But he has 2 great wide receiver coaches in that camp. Al Saunders is one. Hugh Jackson also does a great job developing wide receivers. He is going to be a standout player for the Cleveland Browns.
Coleman was just one of 3 receivers the team picked. We know that they desperately needed them. They also picked up a quarterback in the 3rd round, Cody Kessler.
Yeah, I like the receiver haul. I think that's awesome. I'm not going to talk about the quarterback because he went to the other school. But I think what they're saying is they needed a whole new receiving core, and that's what they did. They went out and got it. Obviously, Jordan Payton out of UCLA, I think he's a sure-handed guy. Rashard Higgins out of Colorado State does a great job attacking the ball. These guys are going to go out there and play. And Ricardo Lewis is a big receiver that is going to have to make those tough catches going across the middle.
You need to warm up that guy at the other school, USC, Cody Kessler. Don't sleep on him. He's going to get every opportunity to compete.
Yeah, he can compete all he wants to, but I'm not going to talk about it.
Emmanuel Ogbah was the Browns' first defensive player selected. Bucky, is he the pass rusher they need?
Look, this was a draft that didn't have many pass rushers, but he was one of the more impressive ones on the board. Straight line pass rusher, a guy that has power, has speed, explosiveness. 23.5 sacks his last 2 years at Oklahoma State. I am a huge fan of Emmanuel Ogbah. Hugh Jackson really, really liked this pick when he talked to me early in the process. I'm surprised that he was still on the board when they were able to pick in the 2nd round.
Yeah, that's great. Well, here are the other 6 defensive players that are headed to Cleveland. MJD, who stands out?
I like Scooby Wright. I think he is just, you get him in the 2nd round, he didn't perform, he didn't run fast, he didn't do this, he was banged up. But when you watch him on tape, he is a banger. He's a guy that doesn't turn down contact at all. He's going to be the physical force of that defense. I think all these guys make the team, and they all become a core nucleus. I think that's the guy that you have to watch out for when you play Cleveland. He's going to be the one to kind of roam the middle. I like it.
I just like his name, too.
That's all right.
You're not into
He went to
it?
Arizona, so I ain't really fooling with. He's from the Bay, though.
If he went to UCLA, you would be in love with him.
He's from the Bay Area, so I got to give him a little
Fine.
kudos.
14 players. It's a huge draft, Bucky. What's their grade?
I'm going to give him a B+ because the thing that I like about what Hugh Jackson and Paul DePodesta and Sashi Brown did, They expended their picks on name brands. I like name brands, big school guys that have a proven track record of production. That is what they follow. That's the model that they're going with. And so when you look at everything that they're able to bring in, competition at multiple spots, having 14 picks, really a lot of coin flips. I want to increase my odds of guys making the team. Take as many, put them all out there. Let's see what happens. I think the Browns came up well in their first draft.
I love it. Well, the Browns weren't the only team in the AFC North stocking up on defense. The Bengals took corner William Jackson III with their first pick. Reese, I'm going to call you Reese. I'm going to bring that one out. I know you've studied a lot of film on him, so how does he fit into this defense?
You know, only people from the neighborhood call me Reese. But watching William Jackson III, this young man has an instinct for the ball and an instinct for the end zone. I think that's key. Buck, you talk about you want guys that can get to the paint. Me too on defense. When you get a pick, I need to go to the house every time because I don't want my offense on the field as much as possible. This young man is phenomenal.
And Buck, the team got a potential steal when they picked up Andrew Billings in the 4th round.
You know, a lot of us in the media misevaluated what Andrew Billings was. We had him high. I thought he'd be a guy that maybe at the bottom of the 1st round, he would come off the board. For whatever reason, he's sitting in the 4th round. The Cincinnati Bengals snapped him up, and it's a great value pick. This is a strong man at the point of attack. In high school, I want to say he was a powerlifting champion. I want strength. I want explosiveness. I want a guy that can move people off the ball. Andrew Billings is that type. Marvin Lewis identified him. Great value pick for them.
Well, here's a look at the entire selection board. Pretty even draft for the Bengals. They did take 2 receivers to help replace the losses of Marvin Jones and Mohamed Sanu. GD, what do you think here? What's your grade?
I thought you were going to call me Reese.
All right.
I gave him an A, and I thought they addressed what they needed. In the 1st round, they wanted a receiver. He wasn't there, so they got the best corner available. You can never have enough guys that can affect the quarterback. Corners are another way to affect the quarterback. I think that's a great pick. You're in the AFC North. You got Ben Roethlisberger, Joe Flacco.
You need all of that
and
help.
Hugh Jackson coaching whoever is going to be. I'm assuming it's
Cody
going to be
Kessler
RG3.
or RG3.
It's assuming it's going to be RG3.
All right, yeah, the Bengals, they definitely needed a boost on defense after allowing the 20th most yards per game in 2015. Over in Pittsburgh, though, the Steelers went defense with their first 3 picks for the first time in franchise history. They started with their selections with corner Artie Burns in the 1st round, Buck.
Colleen, I'm a big proponent of guys being 2-sport standouts. This guy's a 2-sport standout. Did it in track and field. Look, this guy was a hurdler for the Miami Hurricanes track team, also a standout ball hawk. I liked it. I mean, maybe because I ran track a little bit. I know it's a special athlete to be able to put it on the track. Artie Burns is a perfect fit in that system, outstanding ball skills, good feet. He'll develop under Mike Tomlin. He could be a guy that really walks out there and maybe day 1 becomes a starter.
Well, Pittsburgh used 5 of their 7 picks on defensive players after finishing outside the top 10 in total defense in each of the last 3 seasons. From 2010 to 2012, they finished top 2, including 1st overall in 2011 and 2012. Is this enough, Reese?
I like it, Colleen. You know what? I think they're still trying to find a guy to replace my dog, Ike Taylor. Obviously, after finishing 30th in pass defense, you got to do something. So you go DB, defense. You're trying to figure out a way to get people to affect the quarterback. They want to go more of a zone system. I think that's what they did. Sean David out of Maryland is a zone corner. After talking with Bucky about it, he's a ball hawking guy. I think that's what they're going to. Don't let it get over the top, and when it's in the air, try to go attack it.
All right, Bucky, what do you think after looking at that list? How'd you
Solid all around. I'm going to give them a B for their haul. I thought the Pittsburgh Steelers did a great job of getting guys that fit their system. Keep an eye on Javon Hargrove and also Tyler Minikevich. He is a tackling machine. He is a Pittsburgh Steeler if I've ever seen one.
All right,
well. That's the kid from Temple, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I love him.
Looking at Pittsburgh and the rest of the teams in the AFC North draft classes, who do you think was the best pick in the division, Buck?
I'm going to go underneath the radar. I'm going to say Tyler Boyd for the Cincinnati Bengals is the best pick. Perfect compliment to A.J. Green. Disrespected during the draft process. People didn't think he was fast enough, didn't think he could separate. Natural pass catcher. Look, he broke a lot of Larry Fitzgerald's records. We've seen what Larry Fitzgerald can do. Says a lot about what he could do at the next level.
All right, MJD, which team are you going with? You going to go with a different team?
I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens and go Kenneth Dixon. I think this young man fits that pass-first system, that dink and dunk to the running back. I think he's going to come out and make some plays. You pair him with Justin Forsett. They'll have a nice 1-2 punch. And then when Justin's done, you have a back that can come in and carry the load.
I love that you're going with a running back there. I feel
Always
like it's
go with
fitting.
running backs.
It's good.
Always.
All right. Well, that's it for us. We thank you for watching, and make sure to check out the next Draft Grades Live presented by Bud Light. That's tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern when we hand out our grades for the NFC East and West. For MJD, Bucky Brooks, I'm Colleen Wolfe. See you soon.
I thought my name was Reese.
Reese and Buck.